Ladies and gentlemen, whether you're on Clubhouse or online watching us on YouTube or Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn, we're right here. We're the Pill. I'm Pill Don Daniel, and I'm the founder of Pill Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. And we're going to be talking about how in the world that the bank has for 88 years been charging us 75% more interest than we need to pay. Therefore, it's taken 30, 40 years to get out of debt, and it shouldn't. Do you know that we don't have to pay all of that interest? We're going to be talking about some of that today. Jared, how are you this morning, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you, everybody, for being in the room. We're excited to have this being live streamed on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you're new to the room and you want to see this on the screen, you can go ahead and pull out an iPad desktop or a laptop and go to ice10kvideos.com. And you'll see Don in the studio breaking down these examples. One thing I really encourage is this room is very interactive. We love for people to come on stage and ask questions about your student loans, car loans, credit card debt, or your mortgages, which is the big theme of this room, because everybody that owns a home deals with this, and a lot of people don't pay it off in their lifetime. Don shows people how to pay it off in an average of 7 to 10 years, sometimes 4 to 5 years. And this method's called the P.I.L.L method. If you want to learn more about it, click the greenhouse at the top, read the description, and follow the club. But if you want to learn more about it, come on stage and ask a question. With high interest rates, Don's going to show you how a higher interest rate is actually going to help you pay it off faster. So if you want to see these examples, would love for there to be participation from the audience. So raise your hand, come on stage, ask a question. And we're going to get into it. So Don, I'm going to give you the opportunity just to introduce yourself further, and we'll see if somebody in the room is ready for a question. If not, you can pull out the first example of how you've helped some of your hundreds and thousands of customers pay off their mortgage in that 5 to 7 and 7 to 10 years.
Well, listen, Jared, why don't you go ahead and tell them who you are and what you do? And in the meantime, if they're new to the room, guess what? Every now and then I do pop-ups and bring all of this information to Clubhouse. And if you want to know when I'm popping up, go ahead and follow me. There's some new people to the room. Go ahead and follow me. And that way, whenever I come up, and there's that notification bell, just click on always. All right. And that way you'll know whenever I'm coming on, and you'll be able to get some of this information that we've put together over 16 years. So Jared, go ahead and tell them who you are, and then I'll get into who I am.
And I see that Jay raised his hand. Just accept the invitation. You can even click in your profile and you'll see a thing that says accept an invitation, and you can come on stage. Perfect. But my name's Jared Albritton. I've been in the tech space for over 15 years. I run rooms on Clubhouse, breaking people into tech, but I also support rooms like this. I support rooms around business, and I'm just overall just about generational wealth. So if you want to learn more about me, you can check out my 10K card, jared10k.com. You can check out my bio. And then you can also check out my replays, and you'll be able to see the type of rooms I do. If you're interested in being in those rooms when I do them, feel free to give me a follow and check me out. That's about it for me. And Don, we have a question on stage. If you're ready, we can go ahead and throw it to him. Or if you want to introduce yourself further first, we can do that.
Well, listen, folks. My name is Don Daniel, founder of P.I.L.L Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. And for 16 years, we've been sharing this information on how to read and understand amortization schedules so that you do not have to pay all of that interest. I mean, 30-year loans should not take 30 years to pay off. Why do they take 30 years to pay off? Because when you start paying a mortgage, about 70 to 75% of your payment dollar goes to interest, where only 25 to 30% of your payment goes to the actual loan. And folks, we can show you how to turn that around. We're going to start with a little bit of that information in just a few minutes. Jared, I think I'm ready for the question today.
All right, perfect. And Before we get to the question, Jay, I'm just going to let Credit Goddess quickly introduce herself. And then, Jay, we got you next. And if you want to be in line for questions, just raise your hand, come on stage. The more questions, the better. Thank you, Jay, for coming up. Credit Goddess, please introduce yourself.
Hey, happy Friday, everyone. My name is Rose Laura Lewis, also known as Credit Goddess. I'm all things credit and the official credit expert for the Pill Method crew here. I'm a credit score improvement strategist, business credit consultant, business improvement strategist, all the whole nine. If any of you guys have any credit related questions, definitely come up on stage and ask them. I'm here for any of those questions that needs to be answered. So thank you for having me. Hey, Jared. Hey, Don, and everybody in the audience.
All right, all right. Yeah, Credit Goddess is the GOAT, so make sure you tap in with her, check her out. But yeah, we're gonna get into the first question. We're gonna get straight into it. So Jay, please unmic and let us know what your question is. How can we help?
Hey, good morning, guys. Thank you for the opportunity to come to stage. First of all, my name is Jay. I'm based in International. I'm in the Caribbean. So I have a 30-year mortgage, 10 years into the mortgage. I just hope to learn about the strategies that you're going to share today. If I could definitely use them in my jurisdiction. So
Jay, tell me, where are you in the Caribbean?
Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, okay, okay. Yes, our program works there. Yes, 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 yes. Our program works there, so not a problem at all. So tell me a little bit about your loan, if you would, please. Can I ask a few questions?
Of course.
And are you in a position to, on a separate device, like a tablet or laptop, to see our examples I'm getting ready to put on the screen?
All right. I am in the YouTube link. If you want, you gave a URL earlier, and I think I'm on YouTube now with your page on YouTube. That is the Pill Method channel.
That is correct. And did you click on the one that says live?
Live. Let me see.
And you're looking for
live streams, right?
Yeah, you're looking for how to pay off mortgages in 7 years, and one that says live.
Yes, live. Good.
All right, and then when the commercial starts to play, you got to count down 5 seconds, and then you can skip that commercial.
All right. Okay. Right. I think so. I think I'm on that one.
All right.
I'm live. I'm seeing you probably you in the studio.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go. And I'm waving at you. You're the one I'm waving at.
All right.
All right. So you want to turn down the volume on your computer, and then just use the volume from Clubhouse. Now, what I'm going to be talking about is going to be slightly ahead of what you see on your computer screen because of the internet. But I'm going to try to make sure that it times out in the right way. So first of all, we're going to learn about why does it take 30 years to pay off a mortgage? Okay. And how much was your mortgage at the beginning?
Like about 1.2 million.
1.2 million. Now, so what we're going to be talking about is how in the world that we can pay off 1.2 million in an average of 7 to 9 years. And why does it take 30 years to pay that off? When you take a look at how much money you pay each month, and if you just did the simple math, what would happen if all the money you paid went to principal? Wouldn't that be great?
Yep, absolutely. I'll be done already.
So, so it's not the money you borrowed that's the problem. It's how much they're charging you to borrow the money. Did you know interest is nothing more than rent on your money?
Wow.
Yeah. So what we want to do is stop renting at retail. Let's see how we can rent at wholesale by understanding how they do what they do. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a screen up here. so that you can actually see what's going on. And we're going to put in 1.2 million in the very beginning here. Okay. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And what's the interest rate?
The interest rate is about 4.5%.
4.5. Okay. And as you said, it's a 30-year loan.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So if that's the case, 1.2 million.
No, sorry, 20 years, 20 years, 20 years.
Oh, it's a 20-year loan.
20 years.
Okay. All right. Now, the next time you get a mortgage, all right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to show you the reason why you want to get a 30-year loan instead of a 20.
Okay.
And if it's available, grab it. Okay. Because it gives you more options, and a 30-year loan still pays off in about 7. But the payment isn't, the payment is more manageable. All right. So let's go ahead and put in 240 months. And you tell me if this payment is about it. I have about 7,591.79.
Yeah.
And that's close enough.
Close enough.
Good enough. That's all we need is close enough today. All right. So here's what we're talking about with an interest rate of 4.5, 1.2 million. And now when we closed on that loan, they said, well, sir, then you still owe us. You will owe us at the end of that 20 years, if you keep the loan that long, $622,000. Okay. Which makes that, now here's my question. Is 622,000, is that 4.5% of 1.2 million? Jay?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, that's all right, Jay. I'll ask it again. Here's my question. I've got on the screen here how much interest the bank wants over a 20-year period. 622,000. My question is 622,000 4.5% of 1.2 million? No. Look over to the right. It's actually.
You went back to I'm seeing you now, but I'm not seeing the screen again.
You're not seeing the screen?
No. I'm not seeing the calculate. All right, let me refresh again.
Yeah, refresh. It'll keep up once you refresh.
Let me see.
He may not be on the live video. He may be looking at a different one.
All right.
Yeah, it's like something. Yeah, something probably have to check it again to make sure.
All right, make sure you're on the live.
Yeah. All right, just now. Doing it all the time, and then it just.
Okay.
All right. Let me see. I think I gotta back out to the YouTube link and go again to the live.
All right.
Live now. So very good. Let's go again. All right, so 1 sec to. All right. Yes, I'm seeing a completely different screen now.
All right. Good. So, all right. So now what you should see here is that I have over to the right-hand side, total interest paid as a percentage of principal, 51.836%.
Great. Seen that.
All right. So that's your effective interest rate. I mean, it's 51% of what you borrowed. How's that 4.5%?
All right.
And that's the problem. So we're going to show you on, first of all, how in the world you can return the bank's money and pay them a lot less interest, because here's what they want. I'm scrolling down to payment number 1 here. Okay. And you said you've been into this loan about how long?
10 years now.
10 years now. Okay. Is this your forever home, or are you planning on buying another home?
Well, I hope to buy another one if I get this one paid off.
There you go. There you go. That's what I like. Listen, and I'm going to need a place to stay when I get you're in Trinidad or Tobago?
Trinidad.
Yeah, so when I get to Trinidad, I hope you plan to hold on to that and rent it out to people like me.
No, absolutely.
Absolutely.
But I want to take you to Tobago. That's the tourist paradise.
Well, listen, man. If I know you, and we can get along. Listen, there's a gentleman in my church that's from Trinidad, Tobago, and we'll all get together. We'll make a picture. We'll just do a trip there, and then you can take us around.
Absolutely.
All right. So here's what we're looking at. Okay, and the very first payment, $3,091.79 out of that money that you pay goes to principal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But $4,500 goes to interest. Here's my question. Is $4,500 too much money to pay just to pay your loan down by $3,000?
Yep.
That's a problem. Okay. And so the next month, because you owe less, when you pay that $3,091, that's what they subtract from your loan, and now you're left with $1,196,908.21. That's your principal balance on line one, and the bank uses that number to figure out how much interest you owe on line two. And if anybody wants to see this example, you need to go to ice10kvideos.com, ice10kvideos.com, and you can pull it up on a separate device and take a look at this, because this is going to be so powerful. You do not want to miss this. So when we use this principal payment on line one, now this is what we need to realize, Jay. Whenever we're on the principal balance, whatever line we're on, we always look to the next line to see what to do. Okay, that's always. So wherever we are, if I ask you a question, what we do next, just look to the next line and you'll be able to answer any question. How about that?
Okay.
Excellent. Okay. So since we're paid down to, we're on line one, the principal balance, 1,196,000. Then how much interest does the bank want us to pay on our second payment?
Look at next line. Look at the next line.
Right. What is it?
$4,488.41.
It only goes down less than $2. Wow. That's still a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here's what the bank is looking for. If you owe, it's what it's trying to tell you. If you owe 1,196,908.21, and we do the calculation, you will pay us on the next payment $4,488.41. That's what they're telling you. And the rest goes to principal. So here's what I need you to know. You already know that you can pay extra on this loan anytime you want, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And when you do, you know you're saving time and you know you're saving interest. Mm-hmm. But when you pay extra, do you know how much interest you're saving?
No.
That is also a problem. Do you know the bank has, whenever you've done that, the bank has never sent you a receipt saying, thank you very much for that payment, extra payment. Here's how much interest you just saved?
I guess they wouldn't.
No, they wouldn't. And you know what's even worse, Jay? We have never even thought to ask how much interest we saved. We are conditioned just to give them the money and not ask what we're getting for that money. Banking's the only place we do that. Okay? So let's show what happens. I'm going to give you an example. Now, this is not exactly how my program works. We're just learning how to read this amortization schedule and to see what they're doing. Okay? So if we're on payment number one, let's just say we made our first payment in January. I made my payment in January. I don't owe anything until February. That's right?
Yeah.
Now, what is my principal payment for February? And there are people who are just listening. They can't see this. So that's why I'm asking you to read the numbers out. What is my principal payment for February?
$103.38.
Now, as far as you know, do I have to wait till February to give the bank that money?
No.
If I had it, could I give it to them in January in addition to my regular payment if I had it.
Yeah.
Okay. And if I did, would all of this money, the 3,103, would all of that go to principal?
I don't think so.
Right. Here's where it gets good. Okay. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
It all goes to principal. None of it goes to interest because I paid the interest in January already. Any extra money goes straight to principal. So that means I'm paid down to line 2 in January, wouldn't it?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So my next mortgage payment for February is on what line of the schedule now?
Should be on line 3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So now this is what I pay for February now, $3,115.02 and $4,476.77 for interest. How about that?
Yeah.
What just happened? We got rid of line 2 on your schedule. One whole payment. Okay. Not for $7,591.79. We got rid of it for only $3,103. Less than half. Number two payment is gone off your schedule.
Okay.
And this interest on line 2, $4,488.41. What happened to that?
That disappears too.
It disappears too. So by giving the bank money that they were already looking for, but you chose the timing, you just eliminated $4,488 from your interest cost. Did you know your mortgage worked like that?
No, I never thought of it like that.
Okay. Is that good news?
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Okay. So let me ask you this. If we make a payment here in January, okay, number one, and then let's just say, because we learned that, let's just say, well, I got a little bit of money in the bank. I can put the principal payment on for line 2, for line 3, and line 4. Just a little more than $9,000. Okay, I can add that to principal. What would happen to the interest payments on line 2, 3, and 4?
They should disappear.
They should disappear, and they do disappear. And now my next mortgage payment for February is on what line of my schedule?
Line number 5.
Exactly. So normally it would take, to get down to line number 5, you would have to make 4 payments of $7,591.79. And we don't have to do that. We can now do 4 payments. We can do 3 payments of about $3,000 each, $3,100 each, instead of the $7,000, $7,500. Now, you tell me, is that better?
Yeah, that should be better in getting, if I have the money now, I get rid of the loan faster.
Exactly. So now let's take a look at, now I'm going to ask you to pull out a calculator, and we're going to do some work together. Are you ready?
All right.
So what matters is we don't put a lot of money on principal. We don't try to pay our loans down because we think that whatever we have will not do us that much good since we owe 1.2 million. You follow?
Mm-hmm.
But let's just show you the power of the penny, what small amounts can do to this loan. Now, once you get your calculator up, I'm going to put a calculator on my screen too. Okay.
Yeah, I have mine up.
Very good. In your calculator, I need you to put $4,488.41 here. That's the interest on line 2, $4,488.41.
Yeah.
In my calculator, I'm going to put the principal payment for line 2. That would be $3,103.38. You see that? So I say I want to prepay this loan. This is what's called a prepayment. I'm in January, and in January, I want to give the bank a little extra money, but I don't want to put $3,000 down. Okay. Let's just say I have half of that. So I'm going to divide mine by 2. Okay. I have $1,551.69. If I apply that, should I be able to save half the interest? The answer is yes. Now divide yours by 2 and tell me how much interest would I save if I only apply 1551?
$2,244.02.
Jay, would it still be worth it to apply 1551 if I could save $2,000?
Yep.
Oh, well, guess what, Jay? I don't have 1551. I have half of that. I've only got 775. How much interest would I save with that? Divide yours by 2 again.
$1,122.
So listen, for $775 applied to my loan, would it be beneficial for you to know that you could save over $1,000 in interest you never have to pay the bank?
Yep.
Do you see why they don't want you to know how much interest you save every time you make an extra payment? Jay, guess what? You know what I'm getting ready to do, don't you? I don't have 775. I have half of that. I've got $387. Let's divide yours by 2 again.
$561.
Do you see what happens? What we need to focus on is not how fast we can pay the loan down, Jay. It's how cheaply we can pay the loan down by disrupting the bank's timing, which makes it impossible for them to charge us interest when we give them money.
Right.
I want to give them money in a way that saves me the most amount of interest per dollar applied. I don't want to just save any amount. I want to save the most I can possibly save per dollar. And did you know that matters? How much I pay and when I pay?
It's, I think so, based on what I'm seeing here now.
Okay.
If their system is based on a timing, then of course there's a timing applies to the solution. Yeah.
Now I'm going to now show you what happens when we focus on paying the right amount at the right time. All right.
All right.
So now let's take a look at our principal payment. Do you see where it says cumulative principal and cumulative interest? That's column 3 and column 4.
Okay. Yes.
All right. Column 3 and column 4. At the end of 1 year, I pay this loan down by how much money?
Well, in the cumulative principal is 37,876.334.
And they want how much money in interest to do that?
53,225.14.
How fair is that?
Yeah, not fair for me. Not fair for me.
Not fair for you, but the bank loves it, right?
Yeah.
So here's my question. We know we have to pay this back because we borrowed that money, the 37,000.
Yeah.
But do I have to pay it in 12 monthly installments?
I don't think my contract absolutely says that, but that's the arrangement we made.
All right. But if I had it, could I give it to them all at one time?
They may be, yes, in principle, yes, but I think there are clauses that you can't do it too quickly.
Ah, what do you mean? Talk to us about that, sir.
Yeah, I think at the time you did it, you didn't see the need for that, but I can't pay it down faster than I can't pay it off before a certain time.
Right. Or they'll penalize you, right?
Yes.
Ah, so here's the thing. If they were going to penalize me, what would make it worth the penalty?
If I could if it saves me a lot of money, I would take the penalty.
There you go. So what they're hoping is you never do the math, Jay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But
So
that's exactly why I haven't done the math.
so if I give them this much money, but I could save, because if I give them this much money up front, am I paid down to line 12 in 1 month?
Yes.
So I could take my 1.2 million, I can subtract the 37,876.34 all at one time instead of at $3,000 every month. Let's do 37,000 all at one time. If I do that, I'm paid down to line 12 in 1 month, correct?
Correct.
What would happen to all the interest payments between line 2 and line 12?
They have to disappear.
They have to disappear because they can't charge me for what I don't owe.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Which means instead of costing me $53,000 in interest to do that, it only cost me the interest on line 1, $4,500. So if I'm going to move my loan from payment number 1 to payment number 12, I would much rather give them $4,500 than $53,000.
All right.
So if there is a penalty, it would have to be more than $48,000 for me not to do that.
Yes.
Okay. I'll tell you a little story. I got a client in Canada, and Canada has prepayment penalties, and I have clients in Bermuda. Bermuda they have similar mortgages to you, and they have 7% interest in Bermuda or more. Okay. And they have prepayment penalties. And when I pointed this out, that the Bank of Bermuda 1 year made an extra $3 million in prepayment penalties. They made $3 million in prepayment penalties on loans. Somebody said it was better for me to pay the penalty and save the interest.
Absolutely.
So let's change the word penalty to cost and say, oh, there's a cost to prepay. How much is it? So I did this for a couple in Canada, and what we were getting ready to do was save them. We did the calculation by moving this much money, you're going to save $100,000 in interest. So they have a calculator on the website for their banking institution. So we put everything in the calculator to calculate how much the penalty would be so that they could save $100,000 in interest. You know what the penalty was? $1,200.
Wow.
So it behooves us to know how much interest we're saving, because when we don't know how much interest we're saving, when we hear the word penalty, and if we don't know what our benefit is, we'll never pay a penalty if we don't know what our benefit is going to be.
Okay.
And the bank is a winner all the way around.
Yeah, psychology.
Yes. So that's what we're talking about. Is this beginning to make sense now?
Yeah. I never, question it. I know. Yeah, that's never questioned it before.
All right. So, do you mind if we ask what you do?
I'm an engineer.
Engineer. Okay. Something told me you were an engineer. And listen, here's what we want to do. You already know, as an engineer, we can't optimize anything we can't measure.
Yeah.
Measurements are the key. You have to have a baseline to know that if I do a little bit more, if I do a little bit less, I will either optimize my results or I'll get less than optimum results. Correct?
Correct.
So when I do something, then you also know about the law of diminished return. There's a point at which doing more of something, we don't get a better return on our efforts. Correct?
Correct.
Money's the same way. Money is the exact same way. You can violate the law of diminished return with money. I would love to show you an example, and then we can move on to the next question. Would you like to see that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to need your calculator. So we're going to find out if I give now. Let's say you have plenty of money in the bank. All right. We're just pretending now. You have plenty of money in the bank, and let's just say I could prepay line 12, which would be $37,000, right?
Mhm.
And if I do that, I would save all the interest. I would save the interest for the first year if I pay that up front, correct?
Oh, correct. Yes.
Now, let's just say I have plenty of money in the bank and I could prepay line 24, which would be 77,492.72. I could prepay that and kill 24 payments instead and save this much interest. So if I had plenty of money and if I had a choice of the only two choices I had was line 12 or line 24, which one should I choose?
I will go for line 24.
Exactly. And why is that, sir?
Because I'm gonna save the most of interest. But look at that.
Exactly. So now let's do a little bit of math. If I'm going to pay this and save this, if I take the 53,225.14 and divide it by the 37,876.34, won't that tell me how much interest I'm saving per dollar?
Yes, you should.
Oh, now we're getting down to unit price. Now we're beginning to speak your language. So for whatever I pay, I can narrow it down to the dollar what my benefit is. So let's do that. So we're going to put in 37,000. I'm sorry. So I take that back. We're going to put in 53,000. 225.14. We're going to divide it by 37,876.34. Right? And that equals 1.4. So it's $1.40. All right. So for every dollar, we can save about $1.40. That's a pretty good return on my money, isn't it? Okay. So if I do that, so let's take a look at line 24, where our savings would be 104,000. We're going to clear that out. 104, 710, 24. And now we're going to divide that by 77,492 and 72 cents. And equals $1.35 per dollar. Now I can put all that money down and I can be satisfied with what I'm looking at at a larger level. I said, you know what? I can knock off 24 payments. But right now, for every dollar I put on, I'm saving less per dollar. And what this means is there's a point at which more is going to be too much. Our whole focus here is if I have a loan and all my loans are 0% interest, is there any benefit to pay the loan off early if my loan is 0%?
No.
Exactly. So the only problem is the interest that they're charging me. So whenever I do something, whenever I put $1 down, I want to make sure that whenever I do it, I'm saving the most per dollar, because now saving the interest becomes my focus.
All right.
Right. So, excuse me. So when I'm putting that money down, there's two ways to make money in this thing. I can save money, because Ben Franklin was touted to say, a penny saved is a penny earned. So once I'm putting my money down, I can save thousands upon thousands of dollars in interest, but I want to optimize my interest savings. Once I've optimized my interest savings and I have more money after that, don't keep putting money into debt reduction, because now I'm getting less than optimal results. Let me take that extra money and put it into some sort of investment that makes compound interest. And now I'm making money on both sides of the equation. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense.
So you want to optimize your results. I got this much money down. How can I optimize making money and saving money? But who's going to do all of the math? You know, I live in Huntsville, Alabama. Do you know there's more engineers here per capita than any other place in the world?
No, I didn't know that.
It's Rocket City. You know, the military's here. All the space stuff is here. That's where they developed the rockets to go to the moon the first time. And some of the information is here to send. We're getting ready to go back to the moon. And a lot of that stuff is right here in Huntsville. And every engineer that comes into my office comes armed with their spreadsheets and doing the math, and says, I can pay off my mortgage in this time. But none of them that come to this office have figured out how much interest they could save. And each one leaves from my program. Because engineers understand optimization. It is so easy for them to understand, oh, you've got something here that I don't have. Jay, I want to thank you for coming to the stage today. Do you have any other questions for me?
You tell me how to get the program.
Here we go. So on your Clubhouse, on your app, at the top of the page, you should see savings report request, ice10kreport.com. ICE stands for Interest Cancellation Expert, 10kreport.com. And you can plug that into your browser on your computer, and that will take you to a page on my website. You can put in your information there. All right. And then once your cell phone number is verified, we will send you a code in your message. Take the code, put the code into your back into the website, and it will let you into a financial form. Fill out the form, and one of my assistants will give you a call, and then set up a consultation for you. Once we set up that consultation, you will know the month, day, and year you could be debt free, and how much interest you could save. And we're going to do that optimally. We're only going to use the amount of money that's going to save you the most amount of interest possible. The rest of the money needs to go wherever else you want to put it. And generally, you want to use it to make money.
Wow. Awesome.
How about that?
That sounds great. That sounds great.
Listen, if you have any problems with that, then you can go to ice10k.com, and then you'll also find the business number. You can give us a call, and we'll walk you right through what to do. All right. You can find all of our information at ice10k.com and just find the right button. That is my digital business card. And then you can, one of our staff will guide you through the whole thing and answer all your questions. Jay, it was a pleasure talking to you today.
Same here, my friend. Appreciate it. Thank you much for all the information.
Certainly. Any other questions for me today?
No, that's enough for today. You have me thinking.
Oh, listen, I have this is show, what show is this? This is show 94. So we have 93 other shows up where we ask people ask questions and we answer them about this subject. So you can do a little bit of study about this. We also have a book by the same name as P.I.L.L Method, A Better Way to Eliminate Debt. You can get it from Amazon. And it is out of 33 million books on Amazon, there's only one that talks about this subject, how to read and understand an amortization schedule and how to defeat it so that you can save the maximum amount of interest. And it gives you a great introduction into the process we call interest cancellation. Great introduction into the program. And then it also gives you an introduction into our artificially intelligent cloud-based computing platform that does all of the math. And it guides you as to what to do to make sure you're moving the right amount of money in the right month on the right day of the month to save the optimal amount of interest possible for you. There you go. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you too. You're welcome, man.
All right. Jared, back to you, man.
Awesome. Really appreciate you for coming up, Jay. And if you want to come up and ask a question, feel free to raise your hand. You can ask about mortgages, refinance. You can ask about credit card debt, student loans, car loans, anything that accumulates interest. Come on stage and feel free to ask a question or put it in the chat if it's too loud for you to speak. And remember, your hallway is curated by who you follow. So if you want to see Don whenever he does a pop-up room, make sure to click on his profile, give him a follow, and then also click that bell icon next to the follow button and change it from sometimes notifying you to always, because when Don's on the stage, it's guaranteed he's dropping gems or he's around the best real estate professionals on Clubhouse. And speaking of best real estate professionals on Clubhouse, we have Kenyatta, who has popped up on stage, the official lender of the P.I.L.L Method. We'd love for her to introduce herself quickly, and then we're going to pass the mic today so they can ask their question. So Kenyatta, you got it.
Good morning, good people. My name is Kenyatta. You can find me at kenyatta10k.com. And like Jared just said, I'm the official lender of this house, the P.I.L.L Method. And what that means is not only can I help you find a deal, but I can help you finance that deal. And if you have a business, I can have your business injected with capital. That's right. I can fund your inventory purchases and loan against your invoices and things like that. Tap in with me if you would like to learn more.
Awesome. Appreciate you, Kenyatta. As always, definitely make sure you follow her as well. And we're going to go to the next question. So, Day, yes, a great question in the chat, and I think it'll help everybody in the room. So please unmic and let Don know what your question is.
Yeah, thank you, Dad. Thank you for allowing me to ask the question. Just before I get to the question, if I may, I just want to say thank the Lord for someone like you, Don, and your fellow, fellow people in regards to sharing this information. And I'm pretty late in joining, and I would like to join up and jump on the train as well. But I had an issue trying to get the request, and you did say that I could call to help rectify that. So I appreciate that. And you did mention my island, Bermuda, and I'm from Bermuda, and I'm paying horrible interest. I have a home equity loan as well as a home mortgage loan. So for one, I'm paying 6.25 interest, and the other one I'm paying 5.75 interest. And this month I paid $789 for principal, but then the interest they killed me for $2,200. I'm saying, oh my Lord, have mercy, and thank you for your great work, you guys. The question is, how is it possible to know or calculate the timing? And I think you may have answered that already.
Well, we have a computing system that does all of that, and I can actually put something on there to do that. But first, you have to tell me, St. George's is that your team or?
Yeah, I am actually a St. George's fan. Yeah.
You're a St. George's fan.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and who's that other team? Does anybody remember the name of that other team? Somerset team.
Yeah.
So if I was a Somerset fan, would you still listen to me today?
Sure, why not? I mean, we've had this cricket. It's actually a cricket game that's been going on since 17 something.
Yes.
Yes, I would.
Listen, man. When I come, listen, here's what I know. You don't want me on your cricket pitch. I don't know the difference between a 2, a 4, or 6. I don't know the difference. And I'm trying to figure out, why is everybody stopping to, get a drink and food? What? I don't get any of that.
Yeah. It's sort of like a break.
It's sort of like, okay, I get it. Well, all I'm trying to say is there's rules to this game. I don't understand the rules to the game. Nobody wants me on their cricket pitch because I don't know the rules. And that's the same thing we're going to be talking about your mortgage today. No one knows the rules. How can we be expected to play the game? Exactly. So listen, man. So if I come to St. George's and I try to play, don't let Don play. Because we want to win. Listen, Dennis Lister just had a birthday. So if you know him, tell him I said hi.
I don't know him personally, but I can put it on his page.
Okay, please do. All right, folks. Here's what we're talking about. We're talking for folks. We're in Trinidad and Tobago. We just left there. Now we're in Bermuda, and because we're in Bermuda, I mean, they're not making any more land. So here's what's happening in Bermuda. They kind of build compounds and they build up, and then there's family compounds. And these with these family compounds, then you have many doors there. And here's what else is going on. Here's what else I know. You have to have a permit for every driveway and every car at a particular compound. So if you can have like 4 families there, you need a permit for each car. For you can't do it like just build. You just can't build a 4-car garage in Bermuda like you can in America. You have to have a permit to have a car on your property. Is that correct? Is that still true?
That is correct.
Okay. So in other words, so what we're talking about here, folks, is that the median price in Bermuda is about $1 million for a house. And the average interest rate was around 7%. What is it now, sir?
From the bank I have, it's 6.25%.
Do you actually work at that bank? Because
no, I don't know how to work at the bank.
Okay. Because sometimes they give you a break if you work at the bank.
I've heard that.
Okay, but 6.25%. What is it? So tell me, what is your question today?
Yeah, my question was, how do you get the timing? Because I've watched one of your videos and 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see if I can watch all of it. But from what I did watch, I got on my, the phone to my loan officer and say, "Hey, you and I need to have a word because I'm not liking this $2,200 interest that I just paid, and the principal was $700. I'm not happy."
Okay, listen. And the thing is, Was the loan officer able to answer any of your questions and to help you? That's going to be very important for us today. No. And there's a reason for that. It wasn't because they were trying to hide information from you. It's because they don't know the answers to your questions. They're taught to sell mortgages. They're not taught to understand them.
I see.
Yeah. And so what I'm going to do is go into this, and I'm going to put something on the screen. Now, this is going to be a smaller mortgage than you're used to, but it'll still give you an idea. And if you want to get into your numbers specifically, we can do something. But I want to show you something that talks about the timing. Is that okay? So right now, folks, I have on the screen, if you want to see this, if you're new to the room, please tell the folks how they can see this example on their screen right now.
So what you want to do is go to ice10kvideos.com. That's videos with an S. And it'll take you to YouTube where you can see this video and other videos where he breaks down the examples. While you're there, go ahead, like, subscribe to the channel, and share, because sharing is caring.
Miss Kanyata, how are you doing?
I am well. I celebrated my birthday on the East Coast, and now I'm back home, and I'm just feeling rested and ready to attack.
Because we haven't talked in like 4 or 5 days, Miss Kenyatta, and that's not good. We got to talk. But happy birthday to you. Everybody tell Kenyatta happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday, happy birthday.
Don. Yes, I've been tied up, but I just want you to know that, you know, being around you guys have afforded me a life where I could do those sort of things. So it's kind of your fault.
Have mercy. All right. Okay. I'll accept that. All right, Day. So here's what we've got on the screen now. We have our opportunity cost calculator. All right. And what we do here is we track spending and we track income. And when we track it, then this thing acts like a financial GPS, figuring out when we could pay, how much we could pay after we've paid all of our bills. Okay. So many other programs out there want you to sacrifice having fun with your family or creating memories with your family. It says, cut back on your spending, cut back, don't go anywhere, don't do anything. And I need you, Day, to explain to folks how important it is for Bermudians to fly off the island at a regular on a regular basis.
Oh, it's very important. It's probably the most important thing because it's so small, and we don't have highways to travel to the States or Canada or down to the Caribbean. We're all by ourselves on this in the ocean, in the Atlantic Ocean. So yeah.
Okay. So if I told you to pay off your loan that you have to cut back on your travel, that would not be attractive, would it?
Oh, no, it wouldn't be.
So I'm not going to go there. So you're going to have a travel budget. You're going to say, well, listen, Don, I'm used to doing this so many times a year. I said, okay, let's put that into the budget. I said, really? Yeah, let's just put that into the budget. And how much, you have to have a grocery budget, and you have to pay for, you have to pay for your lifestyle. So all of that goes in. So after we put everything in, we want to be able to figure out how much is left after we pay for everything. That's how we attack the loans, with money that's left over. That's how we do this, so that you don't feel as if you're sacrificing. Okay?
Yep.
All right. So here's what John and Rebecca Jones did. Are you able to see my example here on the screen, sir?
Yes.
Good. So now I'm going to click on the accounts tab. And when we click on the accounts tab, we're going to bring up how much they owe and what monies they are working with to get things done. So we're going to load that into our system right now. And here we are. So if we go down to, it's getting ready to change on your screen. We're just a little bit behind. There we go. All right. So in their checking account, all right. Oh, you know what? I need to reset this. This is from a previous example. And because this is a demo, I can load several scenarios in here, but I'm just going to put a scenario in that makes sense for us today. All right, so we're going to go in and we're looking at their checking account. We have $500 in the checking account. We have 5,000 in savings. Okay, 500 in checking, 5,000 in savings. We're scrolling down to the loans now. There is a $25,000 auto loan at 4%. We've got $2,000 on a Visa at 21, and here's a $200,000 mortgage at 6%. All right. So now we're going to go back up top and learn what they're going to be able to do. Already, the program has already figured out that John and Rebecca Jones will not pay $179,442 in interest. And because of that, they will be able to pay off in 7.7 years. Yeah. And just so you know, we already have several clients in Bermuda. They should have been sharing this information with you.
I want to be one of them.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. All right. So let's go back to the action plan. And we're going to go through how the program is thinking. So out of the monies that we have coming in, John, we can see 3 months at a time. So we're going to go all the way back to April and start at April 1st. When John gets paid, he's going to get paid $950 every 2 weeks. So he tells the program, I got paid on the 1st of April. And when he does that, all right, he'll click on execute in the program. So he's going to execute that. And when he does, that tells the program that he received his $950 that was direct deposited in his bank. And it disappears from the screen because we don't need it anymore. We were anticipating it, we received it, and we just told the program. But when we take a look at the accounts, it was added to his account. So we started out at $500. Now we have $1,450, and this amount matches exactly what he has at the bank. Here's our virtual checking account, and there's a real checking account. And all they have to do is match. You just tell the program how much you're making, and now we can go back to the action plan, and this is how we tell the program how much we're spending. So he now has enough money in the checking account to pay the mortgage, which is $1,199.10. He does the same thing, writes a check, pays the mortgage, and then tells the program, I paid the mortgage, and we're going to subtract that same amount from his checking account. And when we do that, and when that check clears the bank, it's going to subtract that same amount from the bank. And so their bank accounts match. Does that make sense to you? Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right. So now when we're doing that, we just keep doing a series of that. Pay the utilities. That's Belco, right?
Yes, you're right. You got it.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to let you know that I have been there and I do have clients.
Fine.
And you can tell from my accent, I never lived there. Okay.
Yeah.
Because so when I get back there, I want to meet you and we'll go down the road together. Down the road. All right. All right. So now we got utilities, $200. We're going to pay Belco. We're going to pay the cell phone. But here, do you see these little arrows in the middle of the screen here?
Arrows, middle of the screen. Yes, I see red and blue.
There you go, the red and blue. not the pink and the blue.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So that, folks, that's in reference to the bus line, the pink and the blue.
Bus is all pink and blue. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So, folks, here's what we're talking about: checking. So the program says there's going to be a certain time when you're going to have more in checking than you need to pay the rest of the bills, because we're tracking everything. So when the program says that, it says, now we're going to take money from the checking account. You're going to go online and transfer it from checking to savings, $100.90. Because the program has figured out this is $100.90 you don't need for anything else. Okay? And now you pay the phone bill. Rebecca gets a paycheck. We're putting all this money in. And then, oh, there's another. The program says now take money from the checking again, put it in savings, $388.72. Exact amounts. This is money you don't need for anything else, because you're telling us what you need to spend your money on and how much money you receive. So you tell us how you want to spend your money. We don't tell you. We just do the math and figure out how much is left. Sound good?
Yeah.
Now, here's what you're not seeing. We're just putting money in the bank in April, but our minimum payment on the mortgage is $11.99.10. We didn't put any extra money on the mortgage. Our minimum payment for the Visa is $50.88. We're not putting anything extra on the Visa. And our minimum payment on the car loan is $460.41. We're not putting any extra on the car loan. The program is figuring out when is the best time to apply that money so that you can save the most per dollar based on your family's income. All right. So now, if we want to know when that is, we could actually go up to one of these windows, and I've got it pulled up on the left-hand side here on the at the very top. We're starting out in April, but the program is projecting. If your spending habits continue in this vein, by June 7th, you should have $3,120 available in your savings account to put towards debt. After you've gone on vacation, you've flown here to Huntsville or to Atlanta, gone shopping or whatever, all right? And then, now the reason why I said Huntsville, because I know a lot of Bermudians come to Huntsville, because I know several Seventh-day Adventists who live there, because I'm Seventh-day Adventist, all right? So I know they come here too. But anyway, so here's what we're talking about. Once we do that, once we go along those lines, so the program says, "Oh, I'm not sacrificing. We were able to do everything we would need to do, and this is extra money, even after we put money towards our investments for the future." I mean, this is even after we put money towards our savings for our future retirement. All of that is done. This is extra money. So we can scroll down we're going to scroll down to June and see what the program says to do. The very first thing that the program says to do, I'm going to wait till it catches up. We're scrolling down. Now we get new information. We're going to take money from our savings account and pay off the Visa in one lump sum after 2 months. We're going to click on that. And when we do, the program is going to do an extra calculation for us. And here is that extra calculation. When it comes up on the screen, we will be able to see, by paying $2,002.82, future interest savings, $1,736.34. No other program on the planet does that. By doing this is how much interest we save. All right. So now, after we do that, now we're going to scroll back down and see where the program wants to put the rest of that $3,000. It says, even though your mortgage payment make your mortgage payment on the first. And here's the thing about mortgages. You can't put an extra dime on principal until you pay the whole mortgage payment first. So whole mortgage payment has to be paid first. And John and Rebecca pay that on the first, but the program says wait 7 days. Now remember, that money's already in the bank. But the program says wait 6 days, figuring out the exact timing we're going to put money on the debt so that we can save more money per dollar. So it says, now we're going to pay $1,116.98 towards the mortgage. And it says, stop at the 98 cents. Do you realize John and Rebecca Jones at this point have about $8,000 in savings? But the program says only put $1,166.98 on the mortgage and stop at the 98 cents. Why not put more when we have more available? This is what I was talking about in the previous example. There's a point at which more is too much. And we save less per dollar. So we're going to go into here and take a look at how much interest we can save with this much money. And this is not even a Bermudian mortgage. So even here, $1,116.98 saves them $5,435. I can't even say it. $5,435.91 in interest on this tiny mortgage. How much would that much money save on a Bermudian mortgage? Oh my gosh. Oh man, I'm getting excited just thinking about it. All right, so now let's just see. Now, since we have about $8,000 to play with in our account, why did the program stop here? So let's do a little bit of math. I'm going to put the calculator back on the screen. We're going to clear it out. We're saving $5,435.91 in interest because we paid the bank $1,116.98. Okay, so we're going to divide it by that amount. 0.98. Now, this is how much interest we're saving per dollar. $4.866 or $4.87. That is significant. For every dollar you put on principal at this point, you're saving $4.87. What do you think? What do you think about that, Jay?
It's amazing.
Yeah. So if we know that, see, this is all about knowing. All right, Don, you need to know the difference between a 2 and a 4 and a 6. You need to know where to hit it. Okay, and what to go for to get the most points on the board. You need to know all of that. So if I know for every dollar I'm saving $4.86 or 87 cents, that's going to be important. So what if I put more money on? It should be better. So I've got that money. So I'm just going to round this thing off to $1,500. Okay. And the program is going to recalculate and tell me that once I save that $1,500, I put on $1,500. Now my interest savings is immediately recalculated to $7,259.77. If I look at that on the outside, I might feel better about this move than the last move. But remember, we're saving $4.87 per dollar. Okay? So let's do the math here. So we're going to do, we're going to put into our calculator, clear it out, how much we're saving, $7,259.77. And we're going to divide that by $1,500. My answer is 4.83. I was $4.87. This is $4.84. I'm actually saving less per dollar by putting more on here. Now, that doesn't seem like a whole lot. But here's what I want to show you if we do this. Do you see to the right of this where we're saving $179,442 in interest if we follow the program?
Yes, correct. I see it.
All right. Well, I'm not going to follow the program this time. I'm going to put $1,500 down. I'm not going to wait till the 7th of the month. Since I already have the money, I'm going to send it in with the mortgage payment. There you go. Look at that. So I'm paying more and I'm paying it sooner. Watch my $179,442. Watch my 442 when I tell the program I'm paying more and I'm paying it sooner. Watch this. 179,442 becomes 179,000. We're going to, there it is, 179,434 instead of 442. I'm going to save less interest overall with that one move. So here's what I'm saying. In the time that I have to pay this off, and I'm just guessing as to how much money I should pay and when I should pay it. Is there any way on God's green earth I could guarantee that I'm going to save the maximum amount of interest per dollar just by guessing as to how much to pay and when to pay?
I don't know.
Yeah. So, but if you had somebody to tell you, here are the rules to the game. Here's how to get the most out of this. Here's how you can get the biggest bang for your buck so that you can have more money to travel. You can have more money to purchase property. You can have more money to invest. You can have more money to do whatever you need to do, because we're going to make sure you pay the least amount of interest that's mathematically possible for you, Day. What do you think about that?
That sounds amazing.
So does this give you a little insight into how the program figures out how much to pay and when to pay?
Yeah, it does.
And why? And I want to thank you for bringing your question to the stage. Do you have another question for me today?
No. You answered it perfectly, and you demonstrated it through your system.
All right. So you want to get more information from us. Let me give you another way to get a hold of us. You want to go to don10k.com. Put in, instead of ICE, go don10k.com, and you'll see all of our business stuff there. don10k.com. You'll see my admin's name there. Her name is Terasa. You have there's a direct phone line to her instead of the business line, because if you call the business line, they're going to ask you a whole bunch of questions before they even let you talk to anybody. I mean, that's what they're trained to do. But call or even text Terasa, and she knows when she sees a 441 area code that you get priority.
Appreciate that. I'm gonna have a conversation with my loan officer. That one.
Listen, man. Listen. What we're going to do is give you all the instructions that you need, and if there's any prepayment penalties, we're going to get all of that worked out. You're going to save a ton of money by working with us, and your loan officer will have to get some education to even understand what you're doing. So
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you don't want to ask permission. You just want to know your rights.
That's it. Simple as that. You know what I mean? We pay tremendous amounts of interest around here, boy.
Right. And so what we want to do is do something about that. Okay?
Thank you.
Dave, thank you so very much for coming to the stage. And we truly are. This is P.I.L.L Method International, folks. We truly are international in helping individuals cut out the maximum amount of interest that they possibly can. So, folks, if you want to know, the same thing Day is going to find out. Okay. And I got a little bit more information to share with you. Day is going to find out that you can go to ice10k.com or don10k, or what we have on the screen. Okay. When you have that information there, click on where it says get a savings and earnings report, fill out the information, contact us, or we'll contact you and set up a meeting so that you can know the month, day, and year you could be debt free, how much interest you could save. And then we're going to show you how to take that interest savings and develop your own family bank and make money with that money. And one of the best ways, one of the most powerful ways to make money with that money is in permanent life insurance. If you want to know more about that, please reach out to me on the back channel and say, I want to know how I can become my own bank with permanent life insurance. And we'll show you how to do that as well. I'm telling you, folks, it is the best thing since sliced bread. All right. So now I want to tell you something. We just came back from Nashville, Tennessee. And there is, and we had a myriad of speakers there, 17 speakers from all over the country at the top of their game. And the name of the conference was Developing a Spiritual Money Mindset. And I'm telling you, it was a great conference. But we had a special treat. And some of you may know the #1 motivational speaker in the world is E.T., the hip hop preacher, or Dr. Eric Thomas was there. And I'm telling you, everybody was riveted to his presentation. But everyone in the room was surprised when they listen. You want if you want to see this video, we're going to play a clip from this where Dr. Eric Thomas says he uses the pill method to pay off his mortgage. Oh my goodness, this is hot stuff. So if you want to see it, go to ice10kvideos.com right now, ice10kvideos.com, and go to our YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see this. But if you're on Clubhouse, listen to what Dr. Eric Thomas had to say about the pill method. Go ahead.
Listen to me, y'all. I didn't even know he was responsible. But one of his mentees, probably about 4 years ago, maybe, took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. And so when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest. Do me a favor, take these principles and use them. Make the rest of your life the best of your life. I love you guys. Take care.
Folks, that was so exciting to hear that Dr. Eric Thomas would use the pill method to pay off his mortgage in 4 years, not even 7. So listen, and they've given us permission to use this clip, and we're going to be sending it out far and wide. So if Dr. Eric Thomas is using the pill method to pay off his mortgage, what should we be doing, ladies and gentlemen? Listen, if you want to know more about this, please go to ice10kreports.com, ice10kreports.com, all right, and fill out your savings and earnings report so that you can know the month, day, and year you could be debt free. And maybe it won't take you 7 years. Maybe it would be like Dr. Eric Thomas and be done in 4. All right. All right. So, Jared, what else do we have going on the screen?
Yep. So, again, if you are not following Don yet, make sure to click on his bio, click the follow button, and hit the always notifications because he does pop up rooms during the week. If you want to get alerted, make sure to follow him. Also, highly recommend following Credit Goddess, Coffee Brown, Tarek, and Gerald. They all host really great rooms on Clubhouse and do amazing things off of Clubhouse as well. So we got about 30 minutes left in the show. We have time for maybe one or two more questions. So if you have a question in the audience about your mortgage, a refinance, car loans, student loans, credit card debt, feel free to raise your hand and come on the stage or put that question in the chat. And I want to thank Coffee, Tarek, and Gerald for pulling up to the stage. And I would love to give each of you a chance to do a quick introduction, so folks on the audience know who you are and what you do, and what kind of content they can expect from you when they follow you. So, Coffee, if you're around, I'd love for you to go first. All right, cool. Coffee is probably with students right now, but check out her bio. She does a lot of amazing things, and you can find out more about her at coffee10k.com. All right, cool. Tarek, are you around, my friend? All right, Tarek is away as well. But if you want to open up some really, really great content in your hallway, Tarek is somebody you should definitely follow. And if you want to get some Egyptian vibes in your hallway too, Tarek has an amazing audience that he curates. And it's great to see international rooms in your hallway. I brought up Gerald because Gerald's somebody like myself, does amazing things in tech. But Gerald also bought Don's book. So I'd love for you to introduce yourself, and then also just tell people about the book and what you got from it once you purchased it and read it. So Gerald, I'll pass you the mic.
Yes. So again, Gerald Moore. I am the founder of Mission Fulfilled 2030 nonprofit organization where we create tech and STEM programs for Black boys. We have programs. I have a youth tech entrepreneurs program that runs throughout the country. It's on a virtual platform, and we do it live locally. Got some new stuff brewing, Jared. And Don, your book is helping me actually go into a different direction as I turned 50 this year. And when I turned 50 this year, I was like, Gerald, what's the next thing, man? What's the next thing? So I decided that I always wanted to be a pilot. I always wanted to fly. So I am now in pilot school. And I was like, Gerald, how are you going to pay for this? Like, because it's kind of expensive. So I decided, all right, Gerald, let's get back in the real estate game. So I bought a couple properties. And I looked in, I keep your book on my desk. I keep the P.I.L.L method on my desk. So I decided, all right, Gerald, we're going to leverage these properties to pay for your whole pilot license and pay for your plane. Cause I'm like, I ain't just getting a pilot. I'm going to buy a plane, and I'm going to leverage the P.I.L.L method to do it. So I bought a duplex. In upstate New York. And the property, I got the property for $79,000. And it's a side-by-side duplex. And both sides of this first property actually rent at $750. And the mortgage is only $500. So the plan is to take apart one side of the mortgage and pay the mortgage, one side of the rent and pay the mortgage, take a percentage of the other part and go straight to the principal. So based on your method, I should have this house paid off in three to 4 years. Right. So then the house is totally all income. Then I'm gonna leverage a line of credit off of that and buy my airplane. So, and through that method, through the P.I.L.L method, I was able to explain to my wife, all right, this is how we gonna, so now I got 2 other properties that are in closing. I hope they close by next month, and I'm gonna do the same thing with, and the goal is to have 4 properties paid free and clear, leveraging the P.I.L.L method in the next 5 years.
Wow.
Definitely, the book is valuable. The concept works. It's an easy concept, right? The concept is not hard to get. Like when I was explaining it to my wife. I'm like, listen, we're gonna pay off these properties in the next 5 years. And she's like, how? And I'm like, this is how. And I had to actually take her through and read the book. All right, let's go to the website. Let's watch some video. Let me let you let Don speak, because you're not listening to me. But definitely great value in the book, great value in all of the different materials that you have available online as well. And it works.
Wow, Gerald. Wow, listen, that is fantastic. Listen, I am just humbled by the fact that someone gets the book, reads the book, gets benefit from the book, and now it's benefiting their family and helping you to achieve your dreams. I mean, to be a pilot, to take the lessons and buy a plane. Come on, what's better than that?
Absolutely, life is to be lived.
Hey, listen, based on what you're doing already, how would you like to have an extra $200,000 or $300,000 available to invest?
I'm in. I'm waiting for you to tell me. You can never. So I'm in a legacy play at this point.
Yeah.
Right? I'm in a legacy play. I'm putting together a trust, and I'm not. Everything that I'm doing is not about me. It's about my children's children's children. So that extra 300,000 is about my children's children's children in this trust that's gonna live in perpetuity. So that's where I'm thinking. So let's go.
Let's go. So right now, you're doing some fantastic things to put money towards a mortgage, all right, and paying them off. All right. Are you actually looking at? Can you see my screen? Are you watching us online?
No, I'm not watching online.
Okay, so
I'm not watching online.
basically, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to put it on the screen a little bit here, and you don't have to see this, but I'm going to explain this to folks right now. So what we've got is I'm putting on a mortgage here, right? It doesn't really matter how much it is, 4.5. All right. And what I want to show is once I start, what you're doing is you're accelerating the amortization schedule. You're putting money straight to principal, which makes it impossible for the bank to charge you interest. Okay. But by accelerating the amortization schedule, the amount of interest you could save gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So once you get deep into the amortization schedule, you have to put more money down to save a smaller amount of interest. So as you get deeper into the amortization schedule, then the money that you put down on the loan is less effective in interest savings. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So based on that, if my money is going to get less effective get saving interest than by looking at opportunity costs, then could it be that once I reach a certain point that I could probably take that same amount of money and put it in an investment sooner to make more money than I could save in interest?
Absolutely.
That's kind of what we do. So if we're taking that money and we're getting the good feelings of paying off the debt, we could do some critical point analysis to find out what is the maximum amount of money I need to put into this property to save the right amount of interest per dollar, where I can get maximum effectiveness out of every dollar, saving the maximum amount of interest, because I don't want to spend my children's and my children's children's inheritance on interest. Because already know the effect of compound interest starting now with money I don't have to spend on interest. I can put that into the trust and start making money on that now. An extra 200,000 or 300,000 sooner turns into millions later. So by knowing how much to pay and when to pay, we can optimize our interest savings. That's number one. Number two, if I'm getting into real estate, I may not want to pay off the loan. Uh-oh. What did he just say? I may not want to pay off the loan. I may want to see how quickly I can acquire and how cheaply I can acquire equity in the property, reap the equity out of the property, to leverage that to buy 2 or 3 or 4 more properties, put down payments down on that out of the equity I was able to achieve out of this one property.
You just deciphered the plan, man. That's the plan. That's the plan. Pay it down, take the cash out on the equity, get the next one, take the cash out, continue to take the cash out. Why take it all down and just hold it? Because then there's no more growth after that.
There you go. There you go. So what we want to do is now, how do we optimize that? We optimize that whole plan by putting the right amount of money on principal at the right time to maximize interest savings, so I get to the cash out part 7 to 10 years sooner by taking the guesswork out. By using the opportunity cost calculator, then we know exactly how much to pay. We know what month to pay it in. We know what day of the month to pay it on to optimize our interest savings. Therefore, we get our equity faster and we get it at a much lower interest cost by taking out the guesswork. That means more of your money goes into the trust because we're paying less money in interest. Now you're saving a ton of interest already. But the question then becomes, do I want to save a lot of interest, or do I want to save the most amount of interest that's mathematically possible for my children's children? Does that make sense, Gerald?
Yes, sir.
That's what we do. And I would love a chance to have something to do with setting up that legacy for your children's children. So listen, if you would like for us to take a look at all that and then come up with a game plan that is going to be specifically designed for you to maximize your your equity and to minimize your interest payments. Oh man, I would love to be able for you to come back and to talk about that. And since, because listen, I'm reading about you here, and I need, by you, because you're here today, and we have a few minutes left. Can you tell us a little bit about STEM and why that's important? Because if it weren't for people who do what you guys do, because see, I have Asperger's. And when I look at an amortization schedule, I see the patterns. You read it in my book. But if it wasn't for STEM, I wouldn't know. I couldn't get the people to actually do the coding for me to put this all together so that we could be here. How important is that for Black and brown people? Can you tell us?
Definitely important, because when you look at technology touches every sector. It doesn't matter what you're doing, is tech, right? No matter what you're doing is tech at this stage, right? And tech comes in and people participate in it at all different levels. But like you said in your book, like, you were technology challenged, but that STEM professional or that computer, person could come in and develop, take the concepts that you had in your head and develop it into applications and systems, right? And it's important for us to participate in it, because the way we do things as Black and brown people, we make most of the social media applications pop, right? We make most of these things pop. And the way that we communicate with them, we need people in tech, because the artificial intelligence that we're going to create and the different levels that we participate in it and our thought processes need to happen to make, future technology in the way that we can only do it. So that's why it's important for me.
Well, listen,
I work with young brothers to help them understand that we are the creators and we are the future of technology, and especially digital technology, artificial intelligence, and all of those different technologies coming in the future.
You said something there that's very important. because of a person's particular experience and background, okay, they're going to come up with applications that may speak to their particular how they grew up in the world, how that's going to help a certain sector of people who may have been marginalized in the past. Is that important for people in certain segments of society to come up with these ideas to help and to solve problems that were particular to who they are and how they grew up?
Absolutely. And when we're talking about impacting the wealth gap, technology is going to be a part of it. So I remember, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with KRS-One, the rapper, right?
Yeah.
So KRS-One came with this concept that there's 5 elements of hip hop. One was, rapping, b-boying, the way you dress, just hip hop culture in general, right? Technology is now a part of hip hop culture. And the way we integrate technology and hip hop culture is going the way the children see the world and the way the kids see the world through technology is different. So everything that they create in this hip hop culture and concepts and how they integrate with technology is going to be revolutionary from this point forward. And we have to participate in it and have to nurture these ideas, like you said, that they're going to come up with, that we need to own. We can no longer give away our technology. We can no longer give away our ideas and our concepts and how what we do in our culture influences the world, really. And we can no longer give that away. And it's through tech and STEM that we're going to be able to maintain our intellectual property and not give it away and make a true dent in this income to wealth gap.
Man, oh man, you said a mouthful there. Because people have asked me, says, why isn't Susie Orman talking about what you're doing, Don? Why isn't Dave Ramsey promoting you? Why aren't the financial gurus talking about what you're talking about? It's because I own the copyright. They would have to pay me to talk about what I talk about. So is that kind of what you're talking about here, sir?
Absolutely. And when we talk about this, right, it's kind of part of systemic oppression, right? Because you would think, well, why not support what Don is talking about? Because what Don is talking about is going to impact a community that we want to keep suppressed.
Now I want to talk about one last thing here. In your work, especially working with young people, and there are mothers and fathers out there that are listening to us right now and that will be able to hear the replays as well, sir. And I need them to know how they can get in touch with you. But I would need them to get in touch with you for this reason. They have children that are more like me than maybe like you, being neurodiverse. They may are dealing with Asperger's or another form of autism spectrum disorder. A lot of the kids that you're dealing with that are on the spectrum, and it is these kids that are on the spectrum that are going to come up with major ideas in STEM and tech that and so they have a particular niche, they have a particular skill set, they zone in on this kind of stuff, and that energizes them, and that's where they focus. But because they have different ways of learning, they may not fit in to how mainstream education. Do you have something? Are you already looking at that and how we can help kids who grew up like me, who may not have those advantages of being recognized for the superpower that they have, and it's looked at more like a disability than a superpower? Are you helping kids like me? And if you are, how can parents get a hold of you?
Those are the kids we work with. Those are the kids we looking for. Missionfulfilled2030.org is our website. And I'm going to tell you, Don, like, the schools hate me. The schools hate me because I go to the schools and I start talking to them about my 1.69 GPA that I graduated with that had nothing to do with my ability to be technically savvy and be a creator, and my new opportunity for Black boys, which does not include college, where we help Black boys get into tech through apprenticeship, right? Why is there no apprenticeship programs for technology? Why is the only way to participate in it is college? Where for Black males, we make up less than 5% of the high tech and STEM workforce. Black males make up less than 2% of the public school workforce. So if you're a Black boy, it's highly likely, like me, you may go through your whole high school career and never have a Black male educator. So that's what we do in Mission Fulfilled. We get Black men in tech to work with Black boys who may come from disadvantaged situations, but they're still skilled and talented, and we allow them to be creative. And our Youth Tech Entrepreneurs Path program, our new Pathway for Black Boys program, where we help them get into tech through certification. And it doesn't matter what spectrum you're on, we allow them to be creative and show them how that creativity belongs in the tech space in a variety of different levels and how they can participate in it. And that's what our program is about. Getting kids from disadvantage, and they're not disadvantaged, it's untapped talent. We have all of this untapped talent out here that we're reaching out to get involved. And so to get in touch with me is missionfulfilled2030.org, and my email is gerald@missionfulfilled2030.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, you need to be blowing this guy's information up. You need to be hitting on the back channel, hitting him up on his the information that he put out there. Listen, if you don't have a child that's on the spectrum, chances are you have a relative who has a child on the spectrum, and they need to have opportunities. I did not graduate from college. I went to college, but that wasn't the environment in which I could thrive. I'm here today purely, it wasn't my plan. I believe it was God's plan. It wasn't my plan. My plan was to try to go to school and to become something else. But because of my particular way of learning, I did not thrive in that environment. And somehow, some way, I was able to take my interest in technology. I always loved gadgets. I learned computers on my own. Nobody taught me. And all of this came together so that we could be here talking to you today, because somehow I saw an amortization schedule and the patterns leaped off the page at me, started talking about it when nobody would want to listen, and developed a whole language about how to explain this to others. And I know that was a series of events that led to where I am today. I was very fortunate. There are others who aren't as fortunate. They get depressed, or they get they get into a cycle of self-talk that I can't do this, or I'm not this, or I'm not that, because they aren't able to thrive in the environment that most people are into as far as receiving their education. Education comes in many different ways. And one of the ways is in books. I didn't read my first book until I was 46 years old, all the way through, So a lot of the information that was out there that could have helped me was in a book, and I couldn't get through the book. But now things are a little bit different. I just want you to know that there were people out there that looked out for me, that supported me, that were a cheerleader for me. If you don't have a child that's on the spectrum, but you have a friend or relative with a child on the spectrum, please do what you can to support and let that child know that God has given them a superpower so that they have a particular value that they bring to the world that nobody else does. And I'm telling you, even with a 1.9 GPA, you can be a business owner. You can do a lot to help others to get to where they want to do, and you can give back to the world and make a significant impact on how the world not only sees you, but sees other people like you. Gerald, listen, thank you so much, man, for bringing your information to the stage. And one more time, how can folks get a hold of you, and how can we get children into your program? Do you have summer programs as well?
Yes. So I'm actually based in the DC metro area, and we service kind of DC, Baltimore, Maryland, and Northern Virginia. But through our online platform, we have kids taking our Youth Tech Entrepreneurs class all over the country, right? And that's a virtual program. So if you go to missionfulfilled2030.org, you can get the information on that. And we're always starting new cohorts of that program all the time. And the Youth Tech Entrepreneurs program just gives kids exposure to a variety of technologies that exist today and how they can participate in it. And the goal of it is we teach them how to start their own tech company leveraging free open source tools. So we want to teach them how to take ideas that they have and turn them into tech companies today and make real money today, and not say maybe one day when you can graduate from school, then you can make some money. No, let's learn these skills and let's learn how to talk tech. Let's learn how to talk entrepreneurship and take an idea that you may have today and let it work for you and make some money for you today using free open source tools.
Listen, could you please hit me up on my back channel? Would you mind if we work together? Could we, could I take my platform and your platform and combine and see if we can come together and develop something where there are other parents or even who are or students who are listening to this, that we can kind of help them along the way? Can we do something together to help people who are like me and like you?
Absolutely.
I would love that very, very much. And folks, if you know anything about Dr. Eric Thomas, you know that it took him, he was right here in Huntsville. He went to school here at Oakwood University, and it took him 12 years to get a 4-year degree. He didn't thrive in an educational environment, but he had a talent. He had a talent to speak. And then by working with individuals who supported him and helped him, he actually was able to get a PhD. And now he's speaking all over the world. He is the #1 motivational speaker on the planet because somebody like Gerald reached out to him and says, listen, man, you can do whatever it is you need to do in your space. I'm not going to try to fit you into my space. Let's see how we can help you to develop and thrive in your own space. I want to have something to do about that. I need you right now so that we can, I want to hear from Dr. Eric Thomas one more time before we leave, but I want to give the people on the stage the opportunity to do an outro so you can know more about what they do. And I so appreciate our moderators that come up here and week after week after week and hold down this space so that we can bring you good information like this. Jared, can we do the outros and so that we can hear from Dr. Eric Thomas? I mean, the guy who took 12 years to get a 4-year degree, the guy who was homeless, the guy who was eating out of trash cans, and now his particular talent takes him all over the world. We're going to hear from him. He's going to be the last person we hear from today. Jared, back to you.
this room, definitely make sure you click the greenhouse, follow the club, follow Don, and also check out all these moderators as they do their outros. And yeah, we'll be back on Clubhouse Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time in the Mortgage Syndicate. So definitely make sure to follow Don and pull up to that. And so we're going to go from the bottom to the top and do these outros. So Gerald, if there's anything else you want to add to, your outro, please go ahead and go for it.
I want to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to come on stage today and interact with Don. And again, I'm Gerald Moore. I'm the founder of Mission Fulfilled 2030, where we inspire, educate, and activate young Black boys in tech and STEM. And I believe that Black males are the future of the Black family. In order for the Black family to be strong, we have to raise strong Black males. I have 3 daughters, and the chances that my daughters can marry a man in the mold of their father right now is about 1%. And I'm here to change that. So if you want to see an impact in the future of the Black family, you guys need to check out missionfulfilled2030.org and make an investment in the future of Black family through Black boys.
Amazing, man. Appreciate what you do, brother. So definitely make sure you tap in with Gerald. If you got kids, you definitely want them to check out his programs. And if you have anybody in your network that could benefit from what he's doing, make sure to tap in with them. All right, Tarek, are you back around to do a quick outro? All right, so Tarek's not around, but I just want to say thank you to, amplifying this room to your part of the world. Just click on Tarek's profile. 72,000 plus people follow him for a reason. He does a lot of great content. Check out his replays, check out his Instagram, and yeah, tap in. Coffee, are you around?
I am, Jared. Thank you so much for having me, Don. I so honor and appreciate you. Every time I'm in this room, I kind of just sit here like, this is bananas that we've heard so many different things outside of this. Man, I don't even know what to say, but I am just super, super grateful for you in this space. I own an international publishing house, and my mission is to make certain that all creators, collaborators, and educators have a publication. It is imperative that we have publications. We reference books all the time, aka Don's book. And if you don't have a publication, you're doing yourself a grave injustice. You got to get a published work out there for people to be able to tap into long after you leave the planet. So definitely connect with us if you're open and interested in having a published work. Connect with us, collaborators, creators, and educators. You must have published work. Don is a creator, a collaborator, and an educator. And as you can see, his work is transcending time and space, and it'll resonate with us years after, families long after Don exits the planet. So definitely connect with us. We offer other opportunities and services, products, all that good stuff. You can definitely connect with me, coffee10k.com. That's a K, 1E, 10k.com. I yield my mic over back to Jared. Jared, again, thank you so much for having me. And Don, we honor you as always.
So Jared, coffee just inspired me, man. Jared, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You hear me? So coffee, you just inspired me. I forgot to talk about my book. So also, I'm the author of a book called Motivate Black Boys, How to Prepare for Careers in STEM. So I'll pass it back to you, Jared. Thank you, Coffee.
See, and we just launched a publication that comes out on Juneteenth, which is Father's Day, called Parenting Teens, The Tug of War to Adulthood. So you guys definitely connect with us for that as well. You just inspired me, Gerald. I forgot about it.
You guys inspired me to write a book because I feel left out. All right, cool. Up next, we got Kenyatta.
As always, we appreciate your presence and pray that we've earned the privilege of your time. I love coming to this room because you just never know what is going to happen. I hope you guys really took hold of all the conversation that just happened. But beyond that, understand that the method that Don has came up with is a surefire way to combat inflation. Another way to combat inflation is for you to get real estate that rises at the same, if not more, speed of the inflation. And I can help you do that by helping you find a property or finance that property as for fix and flips, etc. Or if you need money for your business, tap in with me so that I can help you so that you can win in every market.
Hey everyone, happy Friday. Hey everyone, Gerald, long time no see. But I'll introduce myself or give an outro briefly. My name is Rosalora Lewis, also known as Credit Goddess. I'm all things credit and the official credit expert for this crew here, the Pill Method crew. You know, my mission on Clubhouse is to educate and help reduce the death rate of small minority and women-owned businesses by providing access to capital and offering creative financing by first improving their credit so that way they can gain access to other people's money. Businesses fail due to lack of capital. And I'm here to help you if you don't have access because of your troubled credit. Definitely tap in with me. The number is in my bio, 888-557-5778, where you can text your name and email address. If you want to book a consultation with me, I do dive deep into your credit situation and tell you exactly what you need to do to improve your credit in less than 30 days. So definitely tap in with me. The number is my bio. We'll see you on Sunday. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yes. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Jared Albert, and I've been in the tech space since 2006. Came on Clubhouse, just really not really knowing what I wanted to do on this app, and I found my passion, which is using this platform to increase diversity in tech, and now that's shifted into also increasing diversity and early adoption of the metaverse, NFT, and crypto space. So I host rooms around tech and the metaverse and NFTs and crypto, often on the app. You check out my bio, you'll see the replays. Where yesterday I had a room around opportunities in the metaverse and Web 3.0. We had 1,200 people pull up, and in the room before that is my CH Tech Careers Recruiter Spotlight, where we had 30, 40 companies on stage offering up roles, and we've had hundreds of people get break into tech through those rooms. And so if you want to be in those rooms while I'm doing them, feel free to give me a follow. If you also check out my replays, you'll see I support a lot of amazing people in real estate and just business development in the startup space, people that can get you funded. So I'm all about just amplifying the voices of those that put people on to opportunities and give you tangible value. That's what Clubhouse can be used for. So definitely tap in with me if you're interested in that. You can also check me out on Twitter, where I'm very active, LinkedIn, and also Instagram. So Don, before we go, we mentioned the book. Gerald gave an amazing testimony. So, and you also talked about being on the spectrum. So I'd love for you, before we go to Eric Thomas, just talk about the book. And then Kenyatta, I would love for you to tell people the bonus people will get when they purchase the book. And I'll put instructions in the chat of how they can get that bonus. So Don, over to you.
Thank you very much, folks. Listen, get the book, Pill Method, A Better Way to Eliminate Debt. Click on the link, ice10klive.com, and you will be able to find the button that says that you'll be able to get the book. Once you get that book, we have something that's special for you. And Kenyatta is going to tell you about how you can get a 10K card. That link that you are clicking on is a business card, is a digital business card. And we're giving away, I'm purchasing a digital business card to give to every person who buys the book. Get the book today and get a digital business card. Get the book, start learning about interest cancellation, start learning about these things that the bank has been withholding from you for 88 years. Get that information, get it now, make a difference in the life of your family, and also get a 10K card that goes along with it. And Kenyatta, how are they going to get that 10K card?
What they will do is screenshot that receipt and then go to ice10klive.com. Go to step 3, which is I'm ready. You're going to click that, upload your receipt, build out your card to your own specifications with your social media handles, your phone number, email address, etc. Let us know where you want to receive that digital card, and you'll receive your very own 10K card valued at $100 in an hour or less.
Thank you so very much, everybody. And listen, also, don't forget to click on Get a Savings and Earnings Report. It is so very important. That's vital. Listen, if you have loans, or you know people who have loans, if you're about to get a mortgage, this is information you are absolutely going to need. Why pay all of that interest when you don't have to? Get a savings and earnings report. Find out the month, day, and year you could be debt free and how much interest you can save. Now, for somebody else who struggled in school, for somebody else who didn't find their talent till later in life, for somebody else who's taken what God has given them and blown up, let's see what he has to say about paying off his debt, and then we'll see you on Sunday. Dr. Eric Thomas, what do you got for us?
Listen to me, y'all. I didn't even know he was responsible. But one of his mentees, probably about 4 years ago, maybe, took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. And so when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest. Do me a favor, take these principles and use them. Make the rest of your life the best of your life. I love you guys. Take care.